What's going on, everyone? It's LA Sports with another live stream. Really working on the grind. We'll wait for some people to get in here. For anybody in here, please like, please subscribe, and let me know what you guys are thinking. What's on your mind? Ask some questions. Any sport. What's up, Gurjot? Yeah, that was a pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy news. Very interesting. It kind of caught me by surprise. Like he's one of those guys where even if he's not playing very well, you just kind of keep because he's that guy in the locker room, and they just totally let him go. So that was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Cardinals would be a good fit for him, though. If you guys are new to the channel, please like the stream and subscribe. Like I said, we're trying to grow the channel. Currently at 148 subscribers. So let's get that number up. I might be getting Big Pat Sports Talk on the stream at some point. We're just waiting to see when he's available. But Rodney, where do you think he ends up? Now that he's been released and he's hitting the market, where do you see him going? If any of you guys want to get on at some point in the stream, let me know and we'll get you the link. But let me know. Cardinals, because I could see it. And even like as a leader, not even as much to play, but more in a guy in the locker room to just help and be there for his team. So we could potentially see that. No question about it. But we will see what happens. He could still hit home runs, right? But obviously not nearly at the level he was able to before. But we'll have to see what happens. He was hitting just 198 this year. He still had 5 homers, though. What's up, gang time? Thanks for popping the stream. Raptors got a big game tonight. They got to take care of this one because they're not done just yet. Yeah, Rodney. So he could still hit them. And he still plays. The team he ends up going to will probably use him more as a DH, especially if he goes to the Cards. They, of course, they have a very, very, very good first baseman in Goldschmidt, so I can't see him coming in and taking that spot. That's the other thing with the NL. There's no DH spot, so it's interesting. You wouldn't get too much playing time there, so that's a big question. Do you believe the Raptors win today? The Wizards are coming off a back-to-back and lost a tight one to the Wizards, or will the Wizards come with urgency and the Raptors lose? I think the Raptors are going to win, believe it or not. Like you said, they're coming off a back-to-back, but not only are they coming off a back-to-back, Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook both played over 40 minutes last night. So they're coming in gassed, and it was a long flight. Milwaukee to Tampa is a long flight. Not sure exactly how long. Let's take a look. Milwaukee to Tampa flight time. Yeah, it's a 3-hour flight, so it's not the quickest. Takes some travel. Takes some pretty good. It's pretty good length. So we'll see. I could definitely see the Raptors winning it. The Wizards are going to be without a couple of guys. Rui Hachimura is not playing. Obviously, Thomas Bryant, Denny Avdia are out for the year. But Chandler Hutchinson, a big guy for them off the bench, he's questionable. The Raptors it looks like, are going to be getting Gary Trent, Yuta Watanabe. Yuta played last game, but Gary Trent Jr. back. That's the expectation. We shall see what happens. I think the Raptors played the 6. If the Raptors play, they can beat them in 5. If they play the Nets, they lose in 6. But I think it may not be worth it, especially to get in the play-in. Maybe some Raptors players will rest. No, they won't. They're not resting. The injury report came out, and it's all clear. As for the play-in, I really want to get in the play-in because I feel like we could be a dangerous team. If we can get healthy, we're a very, very dangerous team. And, the Sixers are the best case scenario for us. We can beat them. So we'll see. If Giannis plays like he does in the regular season, in the playoffs, Bucks will beat the Nets in 5. I don't know about that. Not if Harden comes back and the Nets are playing at their full strength. But the difference is Giannis isn't the same in the playoffs, and the Bucks just fall apart. They have a terrible coach, in my opinion. Mike Budenholzer is a brutal coach, but we'll see. I'm going to have my playoff brackets out soon whenever the regular season ends, but we'll see what happens. This should be an exciting playoff, guys. The Sixers, to me, will lose if they are 1 to 3. I've been saying that all season. I think if we are their matchup, or Miami or Boston, they could do it. I think the Sixers are a very, very good team, but they are unexperienced, and that's key. You need experience, especially when you get into the playoffs, and that's why the Raptors are so much better in the playoffs than a lot of other teams. How many more wins do the Knicks need to clinch a playoff berth? I'm not sure, but it should be a couple, maybe one more. I'm not sure. Oh, we got Big Pat Sports Talk in here. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, LA? What's good,
Appreciate
bro?
you coming on. How's it going?
Cool. Just kicking in. You told me to come through, so I'm gonna come through for you. You talking about the Knicks?
Well, yeah, we got questions about the Knicks in the chat. Are you a Knicks fan?
No, I'm a Mavericks fan, but I will say the Knicks are a pleasant surprise, man.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is just a little bit better when the Knicks are doing good. Yeah, I think I got like the 5th seed.
4th seed.
Got the 4th seed now. Okay.
Yeah. They're playing well. So you're a basketball fan too? Mavericks for basketball and Giants for football?
Yeah, I'm a Mavericks and Bulls fan. I might start broadcasting their games pretty soon. When I can get a hold of their schedule, start broadcasting their games and doing live play-by-play with them.
Yeah, because the Mavericks are getting close to the playoffs, right? You guys got to try and avoid the play-in, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in that play-in, man. We stay hurt too much, man. Luka's out every other game. The Unicorn hasn't played a full season of games in 3 years for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. But you guys got a tough one tonight, and it'll be a good game.
Yeah, but, I mean, we're a pretty good team, man. We just got to get some health and get a couple more pieces. We'll be all right. But Luka's definitely the future. So,
well, I'm a Raptor fan, so we're surprised in the wrong direction this year. But
Y'all are actually doing. Last year you did pretty good without Kawhi. This year I don't know what's going on this year.
yeah, last year we were the second best in the league going into the bubble, and then this year we just fell apart.
Yeah.
But Giants, I like what they did.
Yeah. Are you talking about the draft or just overall?
Draft, free agency, everything. They're
Uh,
building the right way, I think.
yeah, I think we're building the right way. But the way we are building, we're gonna have to win soon. And when I mean soon, I mean this year. It's gonna be a expectation of playoffs. With the signing of Galladay, Adoree Jackson, all our free agents, and then with the draft that we had, accumulating those picks is very big. Accumulating that extra first round pick from the Bears is big. They have a chance to not be very good this year, so we may have a top 10 pick again next year, even though we made the playoffs. But
Well,
this
their
go
schedule,
ahead.
their schedule is brutal. The Bears.
Yeah, their schedule is like how our schedule was last year. It was brutal.
Yeah.
So
But,
expectations for Daniel Jones, the pressure is on him this year. He's gonna have to show us who he is this year, man. We put the weapons around him, so he has no more of that excuse about weapons or anything like that. And he's gonna have to show us what he's made of. And I think those extra picks that we got for next year was insurance if he doesn't pan out.
totally.
Maybe seeing another quarterback
You could
in
trade
New
out.
York next year.
Do you think this team is good enough to make the playoffs?
Yes, they should make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're built on both sides of the ball. There's one question for me on this team. One big question is the O-line. Other than the O-line, this team's pretty, all around pretty good. I like what they did. Rodney said the Chiefs have one of the easiest schedules in the league. Well, for them, almost every game is easy.
You know what trips me out, man? Why would the Baltimore Ravens help them out by trading them Orlando Brown? I don't understand
I don't
that.
understand. That makes no sense to me. And they could have gotten even the return on that trade was just brutal. I mean, I get that the Ravens got a first, but they had to trade a mid-second to get that late first.
Right. I don't understand that.
It just made no sense. You could have traded him, I mean, anywhere, and you could have. Why trade him within your conference? They could very well be playing him in the divisional or championship game. So, Gang Time said, "Can Saquon Barkley ever win MVP? He was on the path to greatness before his injury." You take that one.
Yes, he probably could. One of his best chances is probably this year. If they run that offense through him, and that offensive line is blocking like they were at the end of last year, opening up holes, because those runs Wayne Gallman was getting, a lot of those are touchdowns with Saquon Barkley if they block the same exact way, the way they were blocking last year. He has a chance to be dominant out the backfield off dump offs because we have weapons now. And so you can't just focus on one receiver and double team them all day or just run a cover one, knowing that our receivers can't get off the block and get separation. Now we got receivers that can get separation. Now we got a Kadarius Toney. If we're smart, we'll put them in motion to get that disadvantage or get that mismatch that we want. And Saquon Barkley just adds more fuel to the fire. So if you find a way to guard up all those guys, now you got Saquon Barkley leaking out the backfield one-on-one with your linebacker or safety, and it's just not going to work with him. So this offense has a chance to be very explosive, and the offense has a chance to be very efficient as well. So we're gonna see, man. He may be able to get one. Hopefully, if he does, he's in the Giants uniform.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win comeback player of the year.
That for sure. If he stays healthy, he's gonna win that for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think it's close. unless the Bengals make the playoffs, which they won't in that division. I think he'll win that award. But I think he'll be really good. I think he'll stay on the field. I think he'll stay healthy. I think I don't want his workload to take a step back, but I think especially to start off the year, it's going to. They're not going to hand him the ball 25 times a game in week 1. I think they're going to gradually give him the ball more, and that's why they got that extra running back.
So you believe they shortened his workload in the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I think so. And then they gradually give him more carries, and then as the season goes on, he'll pick it up, and then I think he'll be better.
I say this. I think Saquon Barkley gets, in the beginning of the season, gets about 15 to 16 carries a game. And then as the season progresses, if we're winning, if the offense is doing very well, I can see him getting 20 to 22 carries per game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the biggest thing to look out for is how Jason Garrett uses the tight ends. Because he always had that big physical tight end that he can use in the passing game in Dallas with Witten. And now he has that in Kyle Rudolph. So I think the additions to all these weapons even helps out Jason Garrett because not only is he able to expand the playbook, but he's got even better weapons to do so. I think one play that I really want to see is having 3 tight ends on the field, Saquon in the backfield, Jones, of course, and then put John Ross or Kadarius Toney as your one wide receiver. And then that look is just hard for the defense because you don't know if you're going to run with Saquon Barkley, and you got our tight ends can block now. Like Caden Smith is not a great blocker, but he can block, and Rudolph can block. So you're adding, some room for Barkley to go through, and then you can even use a play action pass in that situation, and send a guy like John Ross or Kadarius Toney down the field in play action. So there's a lot of ways the Giants can use these playmakers, and I like what they did.
Yeah, I really like what they did. You have a lot of sets that you can run. Believe it or not, I think Evan Ingram going to have a decent year with us this year because I believe we can use him the way he's supposed to be used, going down the seam of the defense, using that speed and athleticism. He's not an inside the box tight end. He's not a blocker by a long shot. He's not a great route runner. So those routes there where he's running a what do you call that? An option route or doing a quick curl. He ran those routes so weird last year, and that's why he wasn't successful. And he has to work on his craft, man. He has to work on catching that ball. But I just believe that he's better used as a deep threat and a seam guy that goes up the seams against linebackers or slower safeties that's trying to guard them. So I believe he can have a decent year. If we use a lot of motion, Tony's going to have an awesome year. If we use motion, put that man in motion. Let Daniel Jones see if it's a zone or a man. And if it's man, a quick out with Kadarius Toney could turn from a 3-yard play to a 25-yard play. You never know with that guy because he's like the human joystick. He makes a lot of people miss. Yep. The screen game is going to be a lot better with Saquon Barkley. You might be so worried about all our targets going down the field, you might forget about the screen. And you know what Saquon Barkley does on screens. He showed you his whole career. If you block just good enough and he makes one man miss, man, it might be a house call. The shotgun draw is going to be a lot better because now you can't just have everybody in the box because you have to guard our receivers now. You have to worry about if Kadarius Toney is going to run a deep post or a deep post corner or just burn it up the seam get some mismatch that we got a linebacker on them because it's 2nd and 5 and We putting Tony in motion. They got a linebacker on him. He just burns them down the field. Man, it's going to be great to see this team this year, man. I can't wait.
Yep.
But man, we could talk some basketball if we want to, man.
Yeah. Well, one more thing with the Giants, what's really going to be exciting to see is the RPO. Now that you have, like, Jones was scary on the RPO with Gallman. Now imagine with Barkley, how good they'll be able to use the RPO.
Right. And shout out to, what was it, Guriot Desi?
Yeah.
I got a video coming out about Aaron Rodgers soon. I'm getting ready to upload it. You can tune in and watch it, and I'll let you know in that video exactly what I think about that guy.
Yeah, well, everybody in here, subscribe to Big Pat Sports Talk. It comes out with great content, and I'm gonna get the link in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, asking for the link.
Yeah, give me 1 sec, and then I'll get that. But yeah, that's an interesting situation with Rodgers, and now they came out with more today. Apparently, they're in the quarterback market. The Packers, they're interested in some quarterbacks, so that's very interesting. But yeah, well, I'll leave that to your video, and we won't spoil that now. Is it a Rodgers rant video? That's what Jaden the Champ wants to know.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a rant coming. Yeah, gang time is right here. But yeah, as for basketball, I mean, who do you got winning this year?
It's a hard question, man. Those Lakers are very sneaky. They can pull one out again. Mm-hmm. But really, I got between the Clippers. The Suns are going to get eliminated the first round, even though they're the second seed.
Yeah, because of how big the play-in has some crazy teams there. But that's interesting. You think the Clippers?
Yeah, I think the Clippers might find a way to get it done, man. And the East, I don't see who in the East is. I don't know, man. It's wide open.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see what people see in the Nets.
I forgot about the Nets, but I just think they're gonna fall short. They're gonna find some way to fall short.
Yeah, me too.
Nets fans gonna make hella excuses if they lose.
Yeah, for sure, but there's no excuse. If you have those three guys, there's no way you shouldn't win the title. But they're gonna figure something out. But I can't see them. I don't know. I think a team like Miami, a team like Boston. Well, the Bucks. One thing with the Bucks is once they get to the playoffs, I just think it's a completely different team. I don't know. I don't see what people see in the Bucks, because once they get to the playoffs, Giannis can't shoot. He's developing his shot, but his shot isn't good enough to be that go-to guy. Late in the game, when you need to make a shot, you can't give the ball to Giannis because he's, a team like Miami is going to put Bam Adebayo in the paint, and they're going to put Jimmy Butler on Giannis, and they won't let him get in there. So I don't know. I think as for the East, I think it's wide open.
Yeah, for me, out of all teams, I got going to the finals for the East. I actually got Philly going once they get back healthy. Because when they was healthy, they was dominating all year.
Yeah, but I still think they're too young to go on a deep playoff run. But I could be wrong.
I think it's gonna be Lakers and Philly in the finals, in my opinion.
I think if LeBron can get healthy, I don't see any team stopping the Lakers, but he's got to be healthy. and he needs to play to his, as good as he can. Because if he doesn't, then it's wide open for the East and the West, really.
It really is. Like it really is. Shoot, the way the Knicks been playing lately, shoot, they got a chance.
Yeah, no, the Knicks are an interesting team because they're really well coached.
Well, coach Tom Thibodeau has been a great coach. He was a great coach for the Bulls.
Mm-hmm. I don't see them getting to the finals because they're just still too young. But they can. I'm going to predict them to win a round as long as if they stay in that 4-5 matchup and don't have to play the Celtics or the Heat. I think they're going to win that.
I think they're going to win that too.
I think the Nets are overrated because if you look at it, Kyrie and KD are 500 when they play with each other when it's just them two. Then you got James Harden in. He's the one who makes it run. But with Giannis saying he doesn't perform well in the playoffs, you could say the same thing with James Harden. He isn't a good playoff performer.
Mm-hmm. James Harden really has been not great in the playoffs his whole career. I don't know what it is, but he's a little bit overrated when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, he's the one who runs the show.
Yeah. Regular season, he's an MVP candidate every year, but none of that matter if you can't get a ring.
Yeah. And the part that upsets me with Harden is when he left Houston, he said, I gave them everything. And he was kind of firing at them. And you can't say that because when he was there, he asked for players, and every player he asked for, they got him. He asked for Chris Paul, they got him Chris Paul. He asked for Westbrook, they got him Westbrook. He just could never win there. So there's no, he just could never win. And I don't think the Nets are a threat to a team like to really the Bucks. I think the Bucks would beat them, but we'll have to see. Jaden, not Jaden the champ. This Jaden said Giants record 12-4. Well, there's an extra game this year, so 12-5. I'm assuming. I think we could be a 12-win team.
I mean, it's a possibility, but to keep everything in perspective, I believe we go at least 10-7.
Yep.
I believe we go at least 10-7.
And as bad as this division was last season, it's not going to be that bad again. Washington got better.
The Cowboys did get better. I hate to say it, but they got better.
No, I know, me too. I hate to say it, but they got the best defensive player in the draft, Micah Parsons.
Got to know how to use them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We'll have to see. We'll know right away in the first couple weeks what Dan Quinn is as a defensive coordinator. But yeah, like you said, if they can't use them properly, then they're just going to ruin them. But I could see 12 wins will be tough. I could see. I think 10 or 11 is more realistic, but we'll have to see. And health for this team is very, very, very important because Galladay's missed some games. Adoree Jackson's missed some games. Same thing with Jones and Barkley, Shepard. So we got to stay healthy. And if we can, I like our team. And our coaching staff is my favorite thing about our team. I really, really like Joe Judge and Pat Graham as the defensive coordinator. I like what they're doing. And we'll see what happens. But Gurjot said, what NBA team do you think are our playoff team? Well, there's a lot.
Does it mean like playing or like who's gonna make it in the playing or?
I'm not sure. We'll need him to add some more details. But in terms of the Eastern Conference, who do you think comes out of the play-in as a 7-10 or 7-8 rather?
If the I'll let you go first.
Probably the Raptors.
You think they'll get into it?
I think you guys got a chance to get into it, man. Because you got championship pedigree. Even though Kawhi Leonard left, you guys still That guy still got a little heart out there, man. He still got Siakam. He still got the what's the little guard's name?
Van Vliet.
Yeah, Van Vliet. You should have traded Kyle Lowry when you had the chance.
Yeah, right, dude. He's Michael Jordan against the Lakers the other night.
If you guys are not going to keep him around long term, you should have traded him at the trade deadline when his price was at its highest.
Yeah, but the thing they were kind of thinking is he can't to go to one of the teams he wants to go to, which is probably Miami or Philadelphia. He can't just go there. It would have to be via sign and trade because of salary cap. So that's the way. Like that's the only way I could back them up because they knew unless they make a big trade in the offseason and get rid of somebody, he can't just show up there and go make $25 million because it's gonna have to be by sign and trade. Jaden said the Nets win the title in 2021.
No, they won't.
I don't think so either.
They ain't even getting out of the second round.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams that could win the title this year, and I think out of every year in the past few years, there's the most contenders.
I think the Wizards make it if the Raptors don't. If they don't make it, if the Raptors aren't in the play-in, I think the Wizards make the playoffs.
Yeah, but
that would be good for Westbrook, man, because man, that guy needs a break, man. I just don't think that guy's a championship caliber player though, but he's a great player. It's just his style doesn't, add up to be championship basketball. It's weird, man, because the guy's a great player.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that. I think Westbrook is he's a one of a kind player. Like there's not many guys like him in the league. But when at the end of the day, when I look at a player and their career and I guess legacy, you could say, if they don't have a title, you can't put them in the top 5 at their position. I mean, in terms of all time, I just don't. I don't see it because winning in the NBA is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you average a triple-double over your career. If you got no rings, that's –
Yeah, that's the reason why Charles Barkley can't be on a lot of people's top 10 lists because he never got a ring. Although Jordan had a lot to do with that, but still, he never got that ring. His chance to get his ring is when Jordan retired the first time, but he kept getting beat by the Rockets. So that's on him. He had his chance when Jordan retired. He just didn't go through. I don't know. Something happened to Charles Barkley after he lost to Jordan because that team really believed they could beat the Bulls, and they were a pretty doggone good team. Just that Jordan just had that determination, man. Like everybody came against that guy that lost.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why he's one of the best players ever. So, Michael Jordan. But, yeah, I mean, are you a baseball fan?
I'm a Cubs fan.
Oh, you're a Cubs fan? Yeesh.
Yeah, I'm a Cubs fan, man. When I say the city went crazy when they won a World Series, and they went absolutely nuts.
We're used to them by now. We get so many.
They're about 500 this year.
Right.
They're about average. I don't know. They got some good players though.
Yeah, we just ain't working. I don't know what it is, man. We lost that magic.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys did sweep the Dodgers. The Dodgers looking like they're not even gonna make the playoffs the way they're playing.
That is true.
Yeah. But
did the Dodgers just win the World Series not too long ago? Like last year?
Last year.
They
won. That one pitcher they finally got that doggone trophy.
Kershaw.
Kershaw, man, that dude's probably one of the best pitchers to ever do it, but he always choked during the playoffs. It was weird. like that dude's dominant, and then you'll always find a way to lose.
I mean, he did
Yeah.
versus dominant teams. Though. I mean, look at the teams he's first.
Did you see the Yankees a couple of nights ago when Houston went in to Yankee Stadium
Yeah,
and they were just tearing the Astros?
They was tearing them apart out there, and
Yeah.
it was some beautiful music when Altuve was up. I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, those guys, they'll never be able to go into that stadium and play in peace ever again.
Especially Altuve.
I'm surprised they didn't have like a brawl or something. But as for the Giants, if you had to predict what happens this season with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, what like in terms of their future here, do you think they play well enough to, be extended on the 5th year? Well, as for Jones, and do you think Saquon's worthy of that second contract?
I'm gonna say this: it's on a prove it basis. If Saquon Barkley gets hurt again, I don't think he's worth giving a big contract because he hasn't played. So,
Yep.
and Daniel Jones, like I said, this is his prove it year. This is what they got those extra 2 first-round pick. I mean, that extra first-round pick for this particular reason. If he bombs out, we have enough draft capital to get up into the top of the draft. It might not even have to do anything because we got the Bears pick, and we can pick us another quarterback, or we can use those to go and find the cap room to get a Deshaun Watson or something after this year. So who knows what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this year is going to prove to us what Daniel Jones really is. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you guys got 2 first-round picks, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
We had 10 picks or 9 next year.
We got 10 picks.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that we play a much easier schedule, I think really, really helps the situation from Daniel Jones's perspective, because he's not nearly playing as tough a schedule he was last year. And the one thing that bothers me with Jones is his turnovers. And in the second half, in the last, I would say 5 or 6 games of last season, he rarely turned it over. And when he did, it was off the hands of his receivers. So I think he's really improving in terms of ball security, and we need to continue to see that this season. And if we do, I think he'll be the guy.
Yeah, he did. I'll give him that. He did play pretty well down the stretch. I think he only had 1 turnover in like the last 6 games, or maybe even 8.
Yep.
I believe he started to come into his own before he got hurt. So let's see if he can keep that going from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. If he could do that, we're in good hands.
Yeah, completely. And you mentioned he had one turnover in the last 7-8 games, and it was in week 17, and that was totally on Evan Ingram because he dropped the ball and it popped in the air for the Cowboys to pick off. So he definitely got better there, and I think he's gonna continue to prove that. And as much as our offensive line has holes, I think as the year went on, they got better. And
they got a whole lot better as the year went on. A whole lot better.
Mm-hmm. And with another year playing together, and another year of experience, because they're young, I think they'll be better. And with the weapons we've got for Jones, there's no reason for me to think he can't be good the next season. So
if Daniel Jones can't use what you guys have, that's kind of like, okay.
That lets us know who he is.
Because I mean, you got some weapons over there.
Yeah. Like if you can't do anything with these weapons, then it's sorry for you, then, man. Because like we got Galladay, we got Tony, you still got Shepard, you still got Slayton. They picked up John Ross. You got Evan Ingram. You got Rudolph. You got Barkley.
Dante Pettis is number 6 or 7 on our receiving depth chart.
And Dante Pettis might not even make the team.
Yeah, and that shows how deep we are at the wide receiver position. So, but I think he'll be the guy. I think he'll take a step. I'm not going to say like Josh Allen because I'm not expecting it, and I don't think anybody should expect him to be a top 5 quarterback next season. But I think a better comparison is Baker Mayfield, from his second to third year jump, and I think that's something we can. Baker Mayfield took a big step up this year, and I think we could see that. And our defense, the better your defense is, the easier it makes for the offense, because the faster the defense gets off the field, the longer and the more the offense has the football. So everything we're doing is for Daniel Jones to see if he can be the guy. And like you said, with the first round picks, we're set up good. We're set up good if he isn't the guy, because even if it's not through the draft, there's going to be some guys that come available. Maybe Russell Wilson comes available next offseason. Deshaun Watson, if he's not out of Houston by then. And so there's still lots of other paths for the what if.
It's going to be a while before Deshaun plays. He's got to get all them things figured out.
Yeah, I think he will. Apparently, he's going to be free in the next couple months. That's what I'm hearing. But I mean, how valuable and how credible the information I'm getting is, I don't know. But we'll see.
Man, you should see the freaking Instagram that one of them girls was like, one of them live footage of the girl talking about it or whatever in the court or whatever. Just see her Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure a lot of them got Instagram.
I just can't wait for people to get mad that the Chiefs get Devontae Adams next year in free agency.
No, they won't. I don't think so.
They need a receiver.
You're a Chiefs
that
fan.
Would be absolutely crazy if they get Devontae Adams over there in Kansas City.
I don't know how.
That would be totally unfair. That would be unfair.
But Rodney, you're a Chiefs fan, and I know we play you this season. The name New York Giants looks a lot different this year than it did the past 4 or 5 years. So you people got to start putting respect on us, and nobody will, but we're just going to prove them wrong this season.
Hey, I got respect. You guys are the best team in your division. That's the only team we really have to worry about this year. I mean, except for the Packers. That's if Aaron Rodgers is there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope. I think we're the best team in the division, because I think, if you want to say Washington's defense is better than ours, fine, but our offense is better than theirs, and I don't think it's even close. I mean, we have better weapons, we have better running back, and Fitzpatrick isn't better than Jones. I don't care what anybody says.
Fitzpatrick is Fitzpatrick, and he's always going to be Fitzpatrick. He'll look like a superhero for one game, and then like 3 games, he'll throw 4 picks in each one of them. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about Fitzpatrick.
No.
The Chiefs should have minimum 10 wins this year with the teams.
If you guys have less than 12 wins, that's a problem.
That is true.
Our team is not that good. It's a little overhyped. Our team is not that good.
No, your team would have been in a lot worse shape if it wasn't for the doggone Ravens trading y'all that damn tackle. Yeah. That was stupid. I would have never gave that tackle to y'all. Somebody else in the league was willing to give them a first-round pick.
We got a nice little line now.
I never thought there was a good chance the Giants would be in on him, but when I saw what he ended up going for, the Giants could have done that. I mean, we would have had to give up a second-round pick and probably a 4th next year. But, I mean, Orlando Brown is a proven good tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, our left side is loaded. I mean, Mahomes probably not even gonna get touched that much.
Yeah, it's interesting, but how would you rank the NFC East? I think I can speak for both of you and say the Eagles are number 4. I don't
Right.
I don't understand. And Eagle fans are just they're like comedians to me. I mean, I don't understand how you can go out and say Jalen Hurts is A, better than Daniel Jones, and B, an NFL level starting quarterback, because the guy, they want to say, oh, he put, every time we talk about Jalen Hurts to an Eagles fan, they bring up the game against the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals, they didn't have a very good defense, and that game they were missing, their entire team. Jalen Hurts, to me, is not an NFL starting quarterback. Now, I'm not saying Daniel Jones is yet, but he's a lot better than Jalen Hurts. That's just what I think. But the Eagles they're a laughing stock, and for their new head coach Nick Sirianni to come in and say there's going to be a competition between Joe Flacco and Jalen Hurts. I mean, why would you say that? You're trying to make Jalen Hurts your franchise quarterback. That's what Philly thinks he's going to be. And confidence is key. And for him to come out and say he's going to have to battle with a 40-year-old that is on his last leg is just ridiculous.
Hey, man, Joe Flacco can still throw a little bit, man.
Man, that dude's done. Yes, that dude's absolutely done. I hope he's starting.
Yeah. But how would you put the top 3? Because we know Philly's number 4.
Philly's number 4. I think the Cowboys are number 3. We're number 1, and Washington is going to give us a battle for that number 1, but they're going to come in number 2.
That's exactly what I got to. Because for the Cowboys, no matter how good your offense is, if you have no defense, where are you going? I mean, I get they got Micah Parsons, but who's going to be able to stop Galladay? And fine, if for some reason one of the guys in their secondary is having the game of his career, who's going to stop Kadarius Toney?
That's true.
And who's going to stop Slayton after him? And John Ross and Sterling Shepard and Saquon Barkley. They can't. Their defense, they won't last with us. But we're going to just cook them.
And they have a way overpaid quarterback. He's $75 million this year for Dak Prescott. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, well, they had no choice. Jerry Jones messed up last year. He should have signed him before instead of tagging him. But hey, I don't care. It's the Cowboys.
Dak's worth like $15 million a year. He's not even.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's that. He's probably a $30 million guy.
I mean, he was horrible last year before he got injured.
It's hard to be good when they still put up points. Their defense was just the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why when people look at their record, it was 1-4. It really shouldn't have been 0-5 because the Falcons are just the biggest, choke job in all of sports history.
Yeah, they should have been 0-4. I don't know what the Falcons were doing on that play, but it was ignorant. That's all I could say. It was very ignorant.
If they had a defense, they could actually win games. Like, that team's good on offense. They just need defense.
And we were wondering what the Falcons were doing there. And then their head coach went on to be the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys. So we knew he always had a soft spot in his heart for Dallas. That guy, he probably told his team, don't touch that football. Oh man, but
I don't know. I don't know what that was. It was like all 4 of them just looked at the football and let the Cowboys get it.
I don't think I've ever been upset on a game that wasn't the Giants.
Right.
I mean,
I looked at that. I was like, what the hell?
That pissed me off even more than Doug Peterson being an asshole, because I just knew going in he was going to do some stupid shit like that. I knew going in that game. That Sunday morning, he came out and said, we feel we got to get Nate Sudfeld some snaps because he's been in the organization and he deserves it. I mean, come on.
Right.
They need to They need to fix the NFL Thanksgiving games. Like they should have like the good teams play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Dallas will be playing again because they're
And that's
they're
just
cowgirls. But
like I wouldn't mind like a Chiefs versus Bills or like a Giants versus Washington. Wouldn't be bad.
yeah, those will be good games. Not Cowboys versus Washington or the Lions versus the Texans. What the hell kind of game was that? I mean, but oh well. The schedule is actually coming out in 5 days or 6 days.
Yep.
I
So
think it's
Giants
coming out
versus
like the
Chiefs, week
12th.
7.
yeah, the
Giants
12th.
versus
So
Chiefs, week 7.
that's important. The schedule because in terms of when you play each team, is pretty important. Um, you know, so we'll see that in a few days. But I mean, I'm excited for the football season, and there's a lot going on. It's going to start. The football season is going to start the off season is going to get to a dead time now in about a couple weeks.
Well, we got the Stanley
Mhm.
Cup playoffs. If you like hockey,
Yeah, but we got hockey and basketball are in the peak time, so we have that. But as for the NFL and for the Giants, are there any guys left on the market you could see them going after?
Trey Turner.
Yeah.
I can see them going after Trey Turner.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it though, as far as free agents go. I don't know if they can sign some more rookie free agents, but as far as like regular
Mhm.
free agents, I can see Trey Turner.
But the question you have with him is his market, how much he's going to cost you, and
That's the
what,
point. If
yeah,
he's costing any more than probably veteran minimum, I don't think we get him.
yeah, and then it will be, would it be a 1 year deal or a 2 year deal? Like I would think it would be one if he comes here.
More likely it'd be a 1 year deal.
Yeah, we got Mizrahi in here. What's going on, buddy? You guys killed the stream last night.
Oh yeah, we had a good stream last night, man. It was fun last night, man.
Yeah, that was good.
Very good stream.
Mhm.
I wouldn't
One
mind
guy
seeing
I
a
think
team pick up Todd Gurley.
One guy I like in terms of free agents, but it's seeming unlikely now because of what we've done at that position. The guy from Detroit that was put on waivers yesterday, Kerryon Johnson. I like him a lot. But we have 3 guys at the running back already. We drafted that guy out of Arizona and of course Booker. Which I think out of everything Dave Gettleman did this offseason, that was the biggest mistake because he jumped the gun too quickly on a running back.
Well, Booker?
Yeah. I think you could have waited a few days. And look, Wayne Gallman just signed for half of what we paid the other guy a month after. So, it's different, but we
I think the guy's gonna be solid for us. To be honest with you, I think the guy.
No,
I think the guy's a better version of Wayne Gallman.
No,
It's
yeah,
like
his
not
numbers-
like we broke the bank to get him.
yeah, his numbers are better than Gallman. I think they could have waited on a running back, but I'm not going to complain over that because this offseason was just, if anybody's going to complain about Dave Gettleman, and I made a video on it, nobody should be complaining about Gettleman, and nobody should be hating him anymore because he's just done such a great job last offseason bringing in all the pieces to that defense, and then this offseason through the draft and through free agency. So
I think Dave Gettleman done one hell of a job. I'm gonna be real with you. I think he's done one hell of a job.
Yeah.
It's just that people don't want to give him his credit for some odd reason. Even some of the things that you hated him for turn out to be good. You hated him for trading back from 11th pick and not taking Azeez Ojulari at 20. Then turn around, he gets him at pick 50.
Yeah. And people are they were pissed about getting Daniel Jones. I'm not saying Jones is good, but you would rather have Dwayne Haskins? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Would you rather have Sam Darnold instead of Saquon Barkley?
No chance.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're haters, but they're always gonna hate, especially in New York, because it's just such a big city, big market. And I'm not from there. I'm from Toronto, so it's still somewhat of a big city, not nearly as big as New York. There's a lot of complainers over here. And this offseason, everybody's saying, "Oh, Gettleman's doing a good job because Joe Judge is here." He's giving them the new school mentality. But who calls the shots at the end of the day? Who makes the final
Who
call?
makes the final say so?
It's not Joe Judge. It's Dave Gettleman, and I like what he's done, and I think he's got he's built a good team here, and now they just got to go out and prove how good they are, and I think they will.
It was fight night in New York yesterday. That freaking Rangers game.
Oh yeah. Did you see that?
No, I did see it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, there was like 5 dudes in the penalty box for the other team. It's ridiculous. So many fights.
Yeah, Mizrahi, it's up here. I don't know where I put it. It's right here. You gotta just go up a bit, and then it's there. But yeah, they had 6 fights in the first 4 minutes of the game. So,
that's old school hockey right there.
Yeah, but where's the closest football and basketball team to you, Pat?
Oh, I'm in Louisiana. The closest basketball team is probably
Pelicans?
between the Mavericks and the Pelicans, and the football team is the Cowboys or the Saints. But I'm a Giants fan, and I'm a Mavericks fan, and the Bulls fan when it comes to basketball and football.
Mm-hmm. So, do you go to watch the games at AT&T?
I'm going to the Giants game this year at the Cowboys Stadium when we play them and beat them in their home stadium again.
They're gonna want to kill you over there, but it's okay. We'll kick their ass.
I'm not worried about Cowboys fans, man. Most of them there just to get clout. Most of them don't even like the Cowboys is one of the biggest clout teams there is, because a lot of fans are Cowboys fans just because the league promotes them tremendously.
America's team.
Yeah, like the media got them Super Bowl contenders just because they drafted Micah Parsons. Oh, and they re-signed Dak Prescott, so that makes them a Super Bowl contender. Well, Dak Prescott's been the quarterback the whole time they've been underachieving. So what makes them re-sign a Dak Prescott?
If anything, he'll be worse now that he got his money.
Right. So
the money's not going to make him want to play better.
And
now.
he's coming off a catastrophic injury.
Yeah.
So you don't even know if this guy's going to be the same.
He's got nothing to play for. He's made his money. He doesn't care now. I mean, what makes them America's team? What's so much better about them than the Giants? Nothing. Why?
Like if you go on the video on my channel where I go off like a mini rant on that, they had us at Las Vegas, and the media has us with the same odds to win the NFC East as the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's okay. We'll make sure. Hopefully, people bet on that and they waste their money. Hopefully, they bet on the
That's
Cowboys.
Crazy. Like,
hopefully, they bet on the Cowboys winning the division so they can waste their money.
You're saying that we're just as bad as the freaking Eagles? Are you serious?
That's crazy how they turned around that fast. They were loaded the year they won the Super Bowl, and then after that, it was just everyone was gone. And they're garbage now.
Yeah, because I mean, Frank Reich was really the mastermind behind all of it, and you see that when he left, that whole organization just went down.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz went to crap after Frank Reich left.
Yeah, and they should have never drafted Hurts. I don't know what the hell Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie are doing there, but they can keep screwing up. I'm not going to complain. I applaud it.
Right. They're a bunch of idiots.
I think, to be honest, I think they should have drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round this year. That would have been smart for them, since they love their 2nd and 3rd round quarterbacks.
Right.
But Tom Brady, you saw what he said about wanting to go perfect.
He ain't
Yeah,
going
I've
perfect.
seen that.
He's
I've
not
seen
going
it.
perfect.
What would you do? Would you trade 2 Super Bowls for a perfect season?
No.
I
Mm,
would.
that season they had going with New England though, that was special because that was their revenge tour. As remember, they got caught basically with the Spygate right before that, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
And they went on an absolute tear. They went to 18-0. They got beat by us 18-1 in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I can see why he would want to trade 2 Super Bowls for that Super Bowl because they would have been known as the greatest team to ever play the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people still call Miami the greatest team to play because they went undefeated. So
Still not the greatest show on turf, though.
Manning is his daddy. That's it. Eli.
yeah, Eli's the only quarterback that's beating them consistently in big games.
And
Hey, what's up? Brady's only
Nick
lost to
Foles.
teams in your division.
Nick
It's weird.
Nick
I don't get
Foles,
it.
because he's really, really good.
Hey, nah, he was balling out that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him after that. But
He had his
I'm happy he
moment.
left Philly because I think if he stayed there, he would have been better than any quarterback that he would have been better than Wentz and he would have been better than Hurts. So good thing he left. Good for him. Get the hell out of that crap city, Philly. But
Who do y'all think's the greatest show on turf? Do you still think it's the Rams back in 2011? I mean, not 2011, 2000.
Yeah, that's still the greatest show on turf, man. I don't care what Kansas City did this past year. Well, nothing as exciting as watching Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Zahir Hakeem, Kurt Warner. Well, nothing exciting as watching those guys on the field, man. Ricky Pro.
They had that
That's
left
still
guard.
the greatest
dude,
show on turf, man.
They had that
And it's
left.
not
I'm
even
surprised
close.
they got cheated out of 2 Super Bowls.
Not even close.
what do you think about the Rams this season? Because they got a new quarterback.
It's Matthew Stafford, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have to prove to me that he's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have to prove to me that he can win. Coming from the Lions organization, he's not a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He's never been anywhere close to an NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he was on a different team, he would have.
I don't know, man. He's gonna have to show. He's gonna have to show it because it's a different atmosphere, man. It's a different atmosphere to go in the playoffs and make a deep playoff run if you've never done it before.
How many playoff appearances does he even have in his career?
I believe 2, or is either 1 or 2.
I think it's 1. I don't know if he's made.
No, it's 2 because. Well, was those games the same? The year they beat the Cowboys, was that the same year they lost to the Saints, or did they? I think they made 2 playoff appearances.
It might have been 2. I have no idea.
Miz, what's good, Miz?
It's Rahi.
What's up? What's up? I'm not used to this midday stream.
Right.
No, what I wanted to say, I was watching Pat's video. I was training somebody because I train people, personal training. But yeah, I watched a video, Pat, just before the stream. Yeah, I agree with you, man, about Rodgers. The guy's starting to look like a big baby, and I'll tell you what, it's starting to ruin his image. I mean, his image already took a hit over the last few years, but this is a little ridiculous now, man. You're a grown-ass man, and you're crying about bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, you're a Green Bay Packer. You've been there for life. And honestly, you haven't been to the Super Bowl since, what was it, 10?
11.
I think it was 2010.
So
it was
look,
10.
Not for nothing, Rodgers, but you owe that organization another trip to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
And let's not forget, man, that was pretty much Brett Favre's team, man. When he won that Super Bowl, they still had Greg Jennings, they still had Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson came, but that was pretty much, man. Brett Favre was in the works of doing that, and when they drafted you, it was the same position, the same thing. History is always going to repeat itself.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted you almost in the same exact position that they drafted Jordan Love. And if you had that much of a problem with Jordan Love, you would have complained last year. What you complaining this year for? after an MVP season and your second turn in the NFC Championship the past 2 years. You didn't get the job done, bro. That's plain and simple.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
Plain and simple. I believe the man is embarrassed about it, and I believe that man doesn't want to play football anymore. He wants to go be a Hollywood type cat, I believe now.
He's
Mhm.
on a
That's
better
why I went
team now
the
than what he
Niners.
would be.
No, I don't know if he's embarrassed about it. This guy's such a cocky, arrogant guy that I think that he blames everyone else on the team except for him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he's famous for. Like, and I blame the media for it as well because they hyped this guy up so much, and well
Mhm.
and well deservedly so in most aspects because the dude is amazing. The
Mhm.
dude
Right.
quarterback play, you're not going to see quarterback play like that, Harley,
No, as a player, he's
ever in
amazing.
your lifetime. The closest thing to him now is Mahomes, and
Yeah.
Mahomes can do it a little bit, but that guy Rodgers, when it came to throwing that ball, I've only seen one other quarterback that's just as good, and that was Dan Marino.
Mhm.
Other than that, it's been Aaron Rodgers when it comes to just physical gifts of a quarterback. But his mentality is screwed up, man, and that's why they can't get over that hump.
He's
Yeah,
better on the Packers now. That team's better. The Packers are better than Denver, the Raiders. Like you're on a better team than the Packers. So it's
Yeah.
just like
I'm not
we
sure
have
why. I mean, he's making so many things get to him. Um, whether it's Jordan Love, the pick of Jordan Love, or not letting him go for it there. I mean,
Come on, man.
you got to win the games. You shouldn't be put in those situations if you're the MVP.
If the
Go out,
roles was switched and Tampa Bay was down by 8
good
with a
job.
minute or something left, and Tom
Mhm.
Brady gets them down to the 5-yard line, do you think that coach is going to be able to tell Tom Brady that we're going to kick a field goal here?
No.
Exactly.
So
the thing is, I think that yeah, he's definitely cocky, arrogant, like a little too much, and it rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But I also have to put a little blame on the organization because they have not that he doesn't have weapons, but they could have given him another good receiver in the last 2 drafts. You know what I mean? Give him one real good top receiver. There were plenty of them out there, and they
Amari
really didn't go
Rogers.
out of their way. They wanted to draft Ayuk last year, and the Niners jumped them. Now, that's not the Packers organization's fault. But I know that they were set to draft Ayuk from what I heard. And he's a real good receiver for the 49ers now. But Rodgers has a beef with the organization. A lot of it is the way they drafted. I don't think it was totally because they drafted a quarterback. It's what they didn't draft for him. And again, he's a very arrogant person. He feels he's entitled to anything he damn wants. And I'm pretty sure the organization's tired of that shit too. So
Maybe the reason why they're drafting the way they drafted, maybe it'd be the reason that they've drafted defense mostly in the past 2 drafts because their defense was one of the worst in the league, and that's why they couldn't make it deep into the playoffs. But guess what? When they got that defense better, they made the 2 NFC Championship games, right?
yeah, yeah. I just I don't know, man.
You got to think
Sometimes
you're Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
Most great quarterbacks only really need one top tier receiver
And he's got
to
one of
make
the best.
things work.
he's got probably the best receiver.
Scantling is not a bum. Lazard's not a bum.
Tanya's
St. Brown's not a bum. That
Tanya.
tight end turned out to be a Pro Bowl type tight end.
And they have the Bobcats.
They've given you a great offensive line.
Yep.
You got a pretty good running back that's top maybe top 10 in the league when he's on this game.
Uh-huh.
And you got probably the number 2 receiver in the game right now. If not, he's definitely top 5 to top 3 in Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
You have well good enough weapons on that team to get the job done. You got an MVP with those guys. You got an MVP. So they had to be getting open and catching the ball for you. You see what I'm saying? I can see if the guy his stats were just terrible because the people weren't getting open. I can see if he was in Daniel Jones' situation last year or something like that. when nobody was getting open and teams were able to run cover one against you the whole game. I wish you would run cover one against the Packers the whole game and see what happens to you.
What's up, Space Beer? Yeah, you're totally right. He, there's a certain, there's a certain time you can argue in, in the Deshaun Watson situation, nobody's, questioning his request of a trade because, I mean, he had one of the best statistical seasons we've seen in a long time with a crap team that just traded everything away. For what reason, I don't know. He's got every right to request a trade, but a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who has everything, just won the MVP and can't get his team over the hump, is a problem. But I hope he stays a Packer because Washington plays the Packers this season. So, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, not just that. Also, the Bears, man. You want the Bears to have a problem in the division because the more games they lose, the better our pick will be, obviously. So,
and they play him.
So the Packers, if he leaves the Packers, the Bears got a chance to win that division if they can find a way to beat the Vikings, which was stuck like hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really want that pick to be a top.
Even if they don't win the division, Pat, they will have 2 much easier games against the Packers than they would have.
Yeah.
How nice would it be though for Andy Dalton to start the season just suck, and then Jalen Fields to come or Justin Fields to come in and just suck even more, and they somehow win like 2 games. I mean, that would be
right.
I
would absolutely love that. But
that would be that, and if anybody, if that happens, if anybody talks bad about Dave Gettleman, they just should be kicked out of the Giants fan base. At that point,
those are
just haters, man. Those are haters that don't want to get off their high horse. That's all.
Yeah, at this point, if you're hating Dave Gettleman, you're just riding the wave, or you just don't want to be wrong. You want to save face about your opinion about Dave Gettleman,
or you just have no idea about anything about football.
Could be right, because he's done an amazing job for this organization. Like seriously, he's very much a part of this turnaround as anybody in that organization.
And you take away even the players he brought in. I mean, the coaches he brought in is just like the coaches on this staff are just geniuses. From Joe Judge to Patrick Graham to Rob Sale, and Jason Garrett's a good offensive mind. And I think he'll be better with more weapons and more, more to work with. So
I'll say this about that, LA. He better have this offense correct by week 3, or you will be gone. I promise you that.
You think that fast he'll be gone?
Yeah. If this offense is looking stagnant all throughout preseason and the regular season, we start off super slow because they believe the play calling is not up to par, he will be replaced by either Freddie Kitchens or the other guy from LSU.
Well, you look
at a little worry about that because I'm not looking for Jones to keep on switching systems every few months, man. That's we're doing him a disservice, man.
Yeah, and that's true too. But if the system that he's in isn't working, I mean, you got to do something about it. You got to do something.
And
I believe Jason Garrett gets it done though, because I believe he has the tight end that he likes in Rudolph. I believe he's going to be running all those Jason Witten type routes, and I believe they find a better way to use Evan Ingram. All he's going to have to do is catch the ball this year, and he should have a decent year.
He's a wide receiver this year, Ingram.
If you just put Ingram as a slot receiver, you're going to see a whole brand new Ingram.
Yeah, because that's what he's supposed to be playing.
Because people want to make a joke out of him. Oh, he sucks. He can't catch. I want him out of here. Let's get him out of here. No, you don't just get him out of here. That's not how it goes. You don't just throw him away because his potential is very high. And now that you have a lot of weapons and him coming back off of a season where he's been hearing about it, maybe he's gonna, maybe he's gonna step up and have a big year, man, and that helps us a lot. You don't just get him out of here. You don't just throw a guy away like
He's a Pro
a
Bowler.
lot of these people, young kids say. It's not how it goes, man.
He's a Pro Bowler. He'll come into the season confident.
Well, I think guys like Rudolph and Galladay will help him a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe they do have confidence in Evan Ingram. I believe they're going to use him the way he's supposed to be used this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that offensive line is going to show a lot of people what it's about to be the Giants offensive line this year as well. I believe the offensive line is going to be just fine.
And about the offensive line, last season with you saw with the firing in the fight with the offensive line coach and Joe Judge, and you saw how well the offensive line played after that. If for some, and I hope I'm wrong, but if for some reason Jason Garrett isn't good enough to be our offensive coordinator and we fire him, it sparks the offense just as it sparked the offensive line last year. You saw after the firing how much better the offensive line played. It's a significant difference. It's crazy. Adam said, if let's say Ingram stinks midseason, will we cut him or will we should keep him and just not sign him because his free agent after the season? No, I don't think we're not going to cut him.
Cutting him.
We won't cut him.
If you trade him, you trade him. You're not cutting him.
Even if you
can trade him for anything, they'll trade him. If he sucks this year, they'll trade him. If they can't trade him, they'll keep him.
Check it out. If Ingram makes it through the season with us, you understand that if the Giants let him walk, we're still going to get like a third-round comp.
Yeah.
Am I right? So you see, he's still gaining something out of that.
I think he's gonna catch for 750 yards this year. 700 yards. I really do.
That's a big number. That's a big number for a tight end, man. That means somebody's not getting catches on there, but besides Evan Ingram. And I wouldn't mind it. I want the dude to ball out. I want the dude to ball out because the higher he gets, say if he makes the Pro Bowl, say if he's an All-Pro and he walks, we get I think a third round compensatory pick if he walks. So I hope the dude balls out.
If he balls out, we're not going to get rid of him because we don't have our. If he balls out, he automatically is your future tight end because nobody can say Rudolph's our future tight end at however old he is. So
man, a lot of people don't realize, man, we won our Super Bowls with average tight ends. Jake Ballard, Kevin Boss. Mm-hmm. When we had Jeremy Shockey, we weren't doing anything until Kevin Boss came in there after he got hurt, and we won that Super Bowl. We don't need a super tight end to win. We don't need a Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, or what's the guy from Oakland? We don't need a guy like that. We've always won with average tight ends that make catches when we throw it to them, whenever we throw it to them. Yeah. Caden Smith reminds me of that. Who knows? He might be able to do it, or we can draft a tight end in the 4th or 5th round. Shoot, I think Jake Ballard was an undrafted free agent. I think Boss was a 6th round or 5th round pick.
Yeah, and Ingram, 700 yards is a big number, but he had over 650 last year. So, I mean, it's not impossible.
Man. He could have the bigger number for him. The bigger number for him will be less drops and more red zone touchdowns.
Yeah,
yep.
So
the biggest thing for him is the 9 drops. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Listen, we had this conversation last night, Pat. It all comes down to one thing. A lot of people do not have patience anymore. You have to give guys a couple of years to grow, especially if the team was not good, man. You can't just give up on players. Oh, well, we cut him in week 8, or we could trade him. Stop him. When you drafted a player, man, you got to show a little loyalty to those players. We drafted them. Mm-hmm. And I hate when people say, like, oh, if Jones is not that good this year, then we're just going to go get another quarterback. Yo, it's not going to happen that easily, especially the Giants. The Giants are an organization that has more patience than, like, most organizations in football. Mm-hmm. And patience Patience equals stability. And that's why you see teams like the Jets who keep changing quarterbacks every 3 years because they ain't got no stability and they ain't got no process. But maybe now the Jets are different. They got a different coach and general manager. But you know what I'm saying. The same organizations do the same stupid shit, have no stability, and they never win Super Bowls. And the same 5, 6, 7 organizations that win multiple Super Bowls and keep coming around to win, it's because they stick to processes for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not winning a Super Bowl every year, man. This is not John Madden like you were saying last night, Pat.
Exactly. People don't know that it takes steps, man. Like everybody, when we started getting bad, everybody wanted us to win the very next year. You see what happened when Jerry Reese did that stupid stuff, and we made the playoffs that year. But now look, we were in turmoil for pretty much 5 years after that straight. Because you didn't
Right.
plan a process, you didn't have a
Right.
process, you didn't bring in a coach that had a plan, you didn't bring in a coach that the players wanted to play for. That 2016 team, them players were playing for each other. They didn't believe in that head coach. But now you have a head coach that comes in that brings a structure, that brings stability to the organization, who brings a defensive coordinator, who brings stability to the defense, who brings in players that want to play, that play their hearts out every week. Do Giants fans really believe that squad last year should have been 6-10? I know that's not a good record, but we really shouldn't have been 6-10. That squad last year had so many holes, it was crazy, but it came from our coaching.
Coaching, yeah.
Made players play better than what they were. They would run through a wall for Joe Judge. That's why they were making plays. When he'd be like, dang, man, that's crazy. Laylo's making plays. That guy's, let's be real, he's not an NFL starter in this league. He's barely making the practice squad. But guess what? He came in there, he was making plays. Everybody's excited for him. You bring in people like Logan Ryan, who was the heart and soul of that defense last year. Got everybody together. You got players like Peppers, who wants to play football for us now because he has a coach that believes in it. He has a coach that uses him to the best of his ability.
Yep.
You got a GM who had the right mind to bring in somebody like Blake Martinez and James Bradbury, and he doesn't get credit for it, but he still makes sound decisions like that. I told everybody when we got Blake Martinez last year, I would take Blake Martinez over that guy that went to the Raiders any day. That dude that went to the Raiders was nothing but another Alec Ogletree. No, we need the coverage line, but we need a coverage man. No, we needed a middle linebacker. Take the coverage off. We needed a middle linebacker. When we won the Super Bowl, our middle linebacker was Antonio Pierce. Was nowhere near a coverage demon out there on the field. But guess what? He was a middle linebacker. He knew how to call the plays, and he knew how to get to that ball. If you remember the screenplay that he broke up against the Packers, that saved the game for us.
Yep. He went through
And
like
you
two
don't-
blockers, man.
Yeah, you don't. Everybody wants the flying, flashy type people. The silly people who still complain about the Odell Beckham trade. Shut up! Like the dude never won anything. Like he didn't win shit when he was here.
That was a very good trade, and I said that in the video about Dave Gettleman. That was, and as much as people liked Odell, look what we got. I mean, 2 key pieces to this top
Oh yeah.
7 defense.
Oh yeah.
So for everybody that's complaining, I mean,
You know, and Dexter
just
haven't even reached his high level yet. Wait.
No.
Right?
no, yeah,
And I don't want to lose Peppers next year. I love Peppers. I think he's a leader on his defense.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose Peppers either. But if he balls out this year, his contract demands are going to be high as hell. That's why we drafted Xavier McKinney.
Yeah.
The first round pick just signed.
But you know,
with the
Peppers
Colts.
is Peppers strikes me, Pat. Sorry, Peppers strikes me as the type that would take a little less to stay here because he's born and raised 10 minutes from the stadium.
Yeah,
That's true too. He does strike me as that type as well. But you're gonna have to bring the money to get him, man. At least
How much
13
does he
to
make
14.
right now? How much is he making right now?
On his rookie year, his last rookie, I think he's making close to 10. Because he was a first round pick, I believe.
he'll probably be about 13.
No, I take that back. He's a safety. He's probably making around about 5'6".
Oh,
We
let
gotta,
me
we
top-
gotta find
top-
a way. We gotta find a way to keep him, man. And the
Because
salary cap
he-
is going up, so
hopefully the salary cap goes up more than what is expected to be, because I think it's going to be around 220. If it is around 220, we'll have enough to re-sign him, because Evan Ingram's coming off the books. It's sad to say, but I think Shepard will be off the books next year. We saved $10 million with Shepard.
Peppers is
Shepard's
6.8
gone,
million.
man. And let you guys prepare yourselves for the fact that Shepard is definitely gone. You know that.
Yep.
He's gone. Yeah, and Peppers
Because the
making
Giants have so
6.8
many picks, man. The Giants have good receivers now, and they have enough picks where they could draft another receiver next year. Not necessarily in the first round, but they get another one.
And then who's to say if Slayton balls out? There you go. You have Slayton, Tony, and Galladay. So people got to realize, man, these people are smart, man. They're going to do what's best for the organization. You have coaches in here that's going to do what's best for the organization. And it may hurt to lose a lot of people. Patriots fans know this very well. David Givens, Deion Branch, Seymour, Teddy Bruschi, like they've gone through this. They know what this feels like, man, when you lose people that's very popular on your team, but just because the money isn't right.
It's part of winning and building a team, though. So.
Yeah, that's why they always had people to come in right after them. That's what we're doing. We got people coming right in after guys. So if we lose somebody like a Bradbury in 2 years, guess what? We got Aaron Robinson. He should be ready to go by then. He should be developed to go by then.
Yeah.
Rodarius Williams is a lot better than a 6th-round pick.
I believe so as well. Looking at his film, I believe he has a starting caliber.
That guy looks good.
We have a lot of secondary players, very quality players, man. I mean, the Giants can definitely also do something with one of those if they want to add a trade or a pick. But also, I don't think Adori's going to be here more than 2 seasons.
I don't think he is either.
Yeah,
I think after his second season, I think Adori's gone.
Yeah, definitely, because of money. Again, it's a money thing. You got to be smart, and you got to be on. In this league, if you're too loyal to too many players, you end up in the dumpster.
Yep.
And so, what do you guys think about Bradbury and Martinez? Do you think they're back?
I think we keep Martinez for sure. Because he's not going to cost us that much. But if Bradbury has another All-Pro season again, and his price tag goes up into 20 millions, because after this contract, he's still only going to be about 31 or 32. So he has one more
years
good.
He has.
He only has 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah,
and I believe he's only 29.
He's a Gettleman guy, though. He's a Gettleman guy, and
I understand that. But if that guy has another seat. If he has another season like he had this past year, and he has 2 more All-Pro seasons, that guy's going to have every right to ask for every penny that he wants.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the high 20 million. We're not going to be able to afford to pay him.
No.
I can't give a DB $22 to $24 million a year, because that's probably where the price tag is going to be at for a corner, a top corner in the league. Definitely with this new contract coming up. You may see a cornerback. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but the smart thing, the Belichick-like thing to do, which is what Judge is bringing to the Giants, that train of thought, is that move on from him. And they got young corners. That's why they drafted 2 more young corners. And they could draft a high corner in the next 2 drafts. So,
Right. We could get the guy from LSU next year if we wanted to.
Yep. And
that's what I'm telling you, man. The Giants are not going to lock into no monster contract with Bradbury. They're not.
You got guys like Darnay Holmes still, but what's the most you're paying for Bradbury in terms of his extension? Because he's making $15 million a year on this contract. What's the most?
If he's not accepting 15 to 17 million a year, the next contract, I'm telling you, they're going to let him go.
That's right. That's it. You're at the top with the Giants. They're not giving him $1 more than 15. I'm telling you. A matter of fact, in the next 2 drafts, the Giants will prepare a big corner to move on from Bradbury. You'll see.
But the thing that the Giants,
Lucas, you can't pay everybody. You got to pay Barkley. If Jones steps up, which I believe he's going to, you're gonna have to pay Jones. You can't pay everybody.
no, I agree. I know you got to pay. There's a lot of guys we're gonna have to pay, but I think what we saw this offseason is the Giants aren't necessarily afraid to overpay with some guys. Adoree Jackson's making a lot of money for who he is, considering it's what the salary cap was at this year. I'm not saying that they're going to keep doing this, but this offseason they overpaid on a couple guys.
They're not going to keep doing. The only reason why they did it this year because of the stature that the New York Giants organization is in right now. Mm-hmm. We're known as a bottom feeder team right now, and players are not going to come to a bottom feeder team if you're not going to pay them what they want, their price demands.
Yeah.
When we start winning games and we start getting the playoffs, let's say we win a Super Bowl with one of these teams. Do you know the standard that comes with the being of the New York Giants? Now it's going to be flipped. Now you want to come play for the New York Giants because you got a chance to win. And we ain't got to pay you like that,
someone will come here for a couple million less than they think they're worth.
You don't have to overpay for free agents.
I mean, players already started coming. Started coming because you got leaders on this team like Logan, and you got some players on this team like Barkley that have connections, and players want to come play here, and they're buying into what Judge is doing, man. They're all crazy about Judge right now.
Right.
Something that I found very interesting from in specific this draft and this offseason is Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman are really, really connections between players is something they're really looking at. You saw when they brought in Adoree Jackson, he's got a ton of connections with the Giants, with Logan Ryan. You saw Aaron Robinson. I'm not sure you guys did a lot of research on him, but I did a lot of research on all the draft picks. He played in Alabama for a year when Joe Judge was there. He was also in the secondary when Xavier McKinney was in the secondary. So they're looking at a lot of players that have connections within the organization, and I think that's important. That and also versatility is something they're really looking at. And we saw it this offseason. Yeah. Joe Judge loves guys that are versatile. We saw Kadarius Toney is – a lot of people are saying, Rashad Bateman's better. He's better. If you want to make that argument, that's fine. But Rashad Bateman isn't the type of receiver the New York Giants needed. They needed a guy that can – Kadarius Toney you can use him in the passing game. You can use him in the rushing attack. And most importantly, you can use him in the kick returning, in the special teams. Last season, one thing I hated about this team is that Jabril Peppers was the punt returner, and when he would fair catch a ball inside the 10-yard line. You can't do that. You got to fight for every yard you can, and that's something that Kadarius Toney, a guy like Dante Pettis, John Ross, those guys. Even that the cornerback, the running back we got in the 6th round, Brightwell, those guys are going to be able to bring you. Even if you're getting an extra 3 yards, they're gonna get them for you.
There's one more thing, man. Probably you guys know. I know Pat knows, man. Listen, Kadarius Toney brings you another major aspect to football that we haven't had. That guy could throw a football 60 yards. He played quarterback in high school. You're going to see option plays this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe you're going to see a little bit of a wildcat from the Giants this year too. If you really want to get creative, let's get creative in the red zone to put Kadarius Toney in the wildcat quarterback position with Saquon Barkley back there, and have Evan Ingram on one side, Galladay, and put John Ross in the middle to work the quick routes in the middle with Sterling Shepard as well. Like, you can put Rudolph out there as a tall guy and let him catch the ball and just jump past it to Rudolph, let him jump over the linebacker and grab it. I mean, you could do anything you want. Mm-hmm. I believe if Jason Garrett is smart, he would add a lot to this offense. I'm not saying become a gadget play offense. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in certain situations you can make 3rd and 1s look like, what do we do? Like, they're in the Wildcat. What do we do? If he hands this ball off to Saquon Barkley, we're not there. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going down if you're not playing it correctly against Saquon Barkley. But then you got Kadarius Toney over there who's might be just as dangerous when it comes to the moves. So who knows what you can do? And then he can actually throw that ball pretty doggone well. I mean, with a tight spiral. Like he can really throw the ball.
Yes.
Yep.
He can roll out. He could take the snap. He can roll out, fake the handoff to Barkley up the middle. And then he could roll to the right. And now the defense either attacks him and leaves the tight end open in the back of the end zone, or they drop it to coverage and Toney just scoops right into the end zone from 5 yards out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you can, man, I can't wait, man. Like I'm excited, bro. I ain't been this excited.
Give me the playbook, man. Give me the playbook. I coach the kids, and I got a good playbook. I got many things in my mind for this Giants team that I'm hoping. I'm praying Garrett and Kitchens have it on their mind this training camp. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. I'm gonna give you a situation. You're the offensive coordinator now. 4th and goal from the 6-yard line with 20 seconds left against Dallas. You're down by 6. What play you running with the New York Giants?
4th and goal from where?
From the 6.
From the 6?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lining up Barkley in I formation. I'm putting in 2 tight ends on the same side, on the right side. Okay? And I'm putting Galladay wide to the left. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having Toney in the backfield. He's taking the snap. He's faking the handoff to Barkley up the middle, play action. One tight end blocks. The other one goes over the middle, back of the end zone. I got Galladay one-on-one on the outside, or Toney can run it in, or he could throw it. There's going to be a lot of different things we could do. Or you can line up, or if you're closer than that, you can line up 3 tight ends. You could go jumbo, and we could smash Barkley into the end zone, man. There's so many ways. Or you could throw a fadeaway from the 2-yard line to Galladay one-on-one. There's so many options.
Yeah, and you know one of the best options is going to be in the red zone this year. I'm gonna say it again. Kyle Rudolph in that red zone is going to be amazing because you can run him on a curl route and he could box out somebody and you can get that ball into him and let him catch it because he has sure hands. So a lot of people, you might have to put 2 people on Rudolph just because of his stature, his 6'6" stature in the back of that red zone, man. Him just boxing out people, jumping up and catch it is going to be great for Daniel Jones or whoever we have in there during that play. Kenny Galladay on the fade route, you got to worry about that. So that can open up a quick slant for Galladay because you're so worried about him jumping over your corner with the fade. And Daniel Jones does have very good touch when he throws those little fade routes, so he'll make it easy for Galladay to get to it. Then you got Sterling Shepard. Now he's routing up people in the middle of the field. You got Kadarius Toney. He's routing up people in the middle of the field. I mean, you can even put Evan Ingram out there if you believe you had the advantage against a smaller corner out there. I mean, and you still got to worry about Saquon Barkley. Like, you still, and even if you put Slayton out there, you still got to worry about Slayton with his quick routes to the inside in the red zone. So, it's man, Daniel Jones Pat, better show us something this year.
Pat, inside the 5, let's say we're on the 4-yard line or 3-yard line, you could spread out all 3 tight end or 4 tight end and receivers. You spread out the defense because they got to put more secondary players in. And then you got Toney and Barkley in the backfield. You fake pump a flat pass to Toney and you hand the draw to Barkley because it's spread out. He's walking right in. Or you do the opposite. You fake the handoff to Barkley. The defense crashes in the middle. And then you hit Kadarius Toney in the flat. Easy walking. You know what I mean?
And that play should be in the playbook. You got Toney in the background. You put him in motion. Let him run a quick flat. Fake it to him. Hand it off to Barkley because everybody's seeing like they're gonna flow to where Toney is going, and Saquon Barkley is quick enough to get past the defensive tackle and just run it straight through. Man, there's so many things you can do with this offense in the red zone now, man. And let's forget, you can spread them up 3, 4, 5 wide and have everybody trying to do a zone, and Daniel Jones can get in there with his feet. You still got to worry about Daniel Jones.
Garrett cannot mess this up, man. He got so many toys now. You could line up this offense in so many different ways. It's scary. And I have to jump out of here because I got football practice, guys. But I wanted to end on this. If you didn't get a chance to watch Shannon Sharp and what's Skip this morning. Shannon
Skip
Sharp
Bayless.
and Skip. If you got a chance to go
Mhm.
back and watch them, they called the Giants the most dangerous team in the NFC East, and Skip actually totally agreed with it. He's worried
Nah,
about
that's
the
a first.
Giants.
That's a
Yep.
first.
Because they
Yep.
named all
That-
the weapons, and then they said Graham's defense, and they said that's
Mhm.
the biggest threat to the Cowboys. And Skip said, Skip admitted it. He says, I am very worried about the Giants. He
Skip
said that.
is the definition of a Cowboy fan. Skip Bayless. That's the definition
Oh, he's
of one.
a major Cowboy fan. For him to sit up there and say the Giants are a major threat, he's very worried. That's a respect to the Giants right now.
Mm-hmm.
A respect
But
we haven't gotten in a lot of years, man.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lying. Skip is the Cowboys fan.
Yo,
But,
but I love you guys. I just wanted to jump on. This midday stuff is nice, man. You know what I'm saying? If we had more, soon you'll get more. Last night, that thing was, Adam's a good fan. Yeah, he's definitely passionate. He's like the rest of us. I got to go do this practice thing, man. But I'm going to,
Appreciate you coming on.
you know, whatever the next stream is, let me know.
Yep. All right.
It's good stuff. Always fun talking to you guys, man. I love talking with Giants football, man. I'm hyped about the season. September can't get here soon enough, man. You don't even
I know, man. I know.
Yeah,
I can't
man.
wait to be calling the games, man. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, because
I
we're gonna
can't
go
wait.
through June and July. It's gonna be boring time. They're gonna make a bullshit story. Yo, let me tell you, they're gonna string along this bullshit Rogers story as long as they can.
Yep, they're gonna string along as long as they can. You best
I'll
believe
tell you the
that.
truth, Pat. I'm gonna make a prediction. At the end of the day, I think Rogers is gonna be with the Packers.
Yeah, I think he is too, because who only team I see giving up that much to get Rodgers is the Broncos. I don't think the Redskins have enough to give up for him, and I think the Broncos, they got a little bit out there to give up to get him. But is he the Broncos or the Packers for me? That's it.
And he's got to use his brain, Rogers. At some point, he's got to sit down and he's got to come to terms with, wait a minute, what am I doing here? The best place for me is to stay in Green Bay. You know, he can't be that stupid. So
Yeah, well, he's gonna threaten to retire in a second.
yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a second. That guy's not retiring, man. He's just like Brett Favre. The competitor that these players have inside of them, they just cannot walk away from the game that easily. And you know that he, deep inside, even with his ego, he does not feel accomplished without getting back to winning another Super Bowl.
Yep.
I believe that.
I believe his career should be way better than it is, and he's had a great career. Don't get it twisted. Same thing with Drew Brees. I don't care about all those records he got. He should have more Super Bowls, man.
Right.
I'm gonna be real with you. Him and Rodgers are almost the exact same for me.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, guys,
I'll be in the next show, guys. I gotta jump out, but I'll be in the next show. All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, LA. I'm gonna hop off too, bro. But anytime you want me to come on, bro, you know I'm here, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. So I'm gonna close it out too. So we'll see you guys soon, and hopefully you'll come. You guys will both pop on again soon. See you guys.
All right.
Good day.
All right, guys. So I'm going to close it out, but I appreciate you guys all for coming on. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Please like the stream. I'll be live with Chris's Sports Corner tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon Eastern. He's got 10,000 subscribers. We'll see you guys all then, and see you guys.